heard from people who have suffered as a result of the discrimination we have in our society. And it's easy for, I think the majority of people, when they hear the stories of the people who have crossed deserts to come here for opportunity to feed their kids, when they hear these stories, they sympathize and they can't believe, regardless of their political persuasion, can't believe that we would treat somebody like that. But all they've heard and all they do hear are the politicians grandstanding. They watch their Fox News. They hear their Fox News, and they hear the sound bites. What part of illegal don't you understand? And all these imaginary problems that we face. And they blame all the ills of society on those that have crossed a desert to try to educate their kids and feed their kids. And people just buy into that. But it doesn't last. It's a shell. It's easily cracked by sharing our stories of the people and who that are affected by this injustice. And that's where our job comes in. We don't have to fight a war. We don't have to throw everybody out of office. We just have to spread the word. We just have to tell people about people we know. Like we just heard about a student who couldn't go to college because she didn't have the money, didn't have the opportunities that we take for granted. People don't believe that's going on in this world, but it is. And we allow it to happen. Now, I want to talk about the DREAM Act for a second, because it seems like that's the least that we can do is pass the DREAM Act. These are people that did no wrong. What you want to hear from those that are against it is that they should do this the legal way. The parents should come across the legal way. We're not discriminating against Latinos per se. We just want them to do it the right way. That's a load of crap, pardon my language. It's directed at Latinos. If we had a bunch of white people that came here from England seeking opportunity, you wouldn't see this kind of discrimination. That's right. Yeah. But the DREAM Act applies, doesn't even address all the people that are here working hard for us and shaping our society. It deals with those who did no wrong. These are kids who were brought to this country by their parents seeking opportunity. The kids, many of which don't even speak Spanish, don't even know anybody in their home country, never lived there but maybe a year or two as an infant, have been brought to this country and have been brought up like all the rest of us, have done the things that the rest of us have done, have gone to school, have obviously done well in high school or they wouldn't even qualify to go to college, and here they are at the very end of the battle, at the end of the war, having done everything that's been asked of them. And now, not only are we asking that they pay out-of-state tuition, which doesn't really make sense, but we're saying you cannot attend our colleges. Even if there's a spot for you, you may not attend. What other group do we keep out of college? Can you think of one? Not even felons do we keep out of college. You can be a child molester and go to college, but you just can't be Latino. That's what you can't be. It doesn't make any sense. But aside from what we are doing to these children who have done no wrong, what are we doing to ourselves? What message are we sending to ourselves and our children? And what are we doing to our society by creating an underclass that can't work, that can't go to school, that can't do anything constructive whatsoever? What are we cursing them to be? And I tell you, why Georgia thinks we have the problem that we need to solve, I don't know. But I can tell you, if I were the immigrant who was deprived of the education, I would leave the state and go somewhere where I'm welcome, which is basically everywhere but here in Arizona, apparently. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't help us as a society to do what we're doing. So you have to ask yourself, if we're not getting anything out of passing this legislation, why are we passing this legislation? Why do we support it? Obviously, we do not, but others do because they do not know. They do not know the stories. They do not know the effect that it's having on people on the ground. So that's what I ask y'all to do when you leave. You don't have to do anything major. You don't even have to demonstrate. Just spread the word. When you hear people making these small-minded comments about these catchphrases about illegals, you might get them to drop the word illegal for a minute and point out a person. They're talking about a person. Who's here illegal and who's not? I don't know. You wouldn't know from talking to somebody whether they're undocumented, because as Arturo said, they're human beings like the rest of us. And whether they were born on the south side or the north side of a river doesn't make them any less of God's child.
That's right.